I'll never forget that Sunday afternoon in April of 2019. I was 35 years old, lying on the couch in my small living room in Columbus, Ohio. The blinds were half closed, the TV was playing some cartoon in the background, and I was just exhausted. Not from running errands, not from working a long shift, not even from cleaning the house. I was exhausted from simply existing in my body. And that's when my 7-year-old son, Daniel, climbed onto the couch beside me. He looked at me with those curious brown eyes, the same ones I'd fallen in love with the day he was born, and he asked, very simply, "Mom, why are you always tired? Why don't you ever play with me outside like the other moms do?" I felt my throat tighten. My chest ached. I wanted to give him an answer, but there wasn't one that wouldn't break his heart. The truth was simple. I was 265 pounds, pre-diabetic, constantly in pain, and ashamed of who I had become. And in that moment, something inside me cracked. I realized that my weight wasn't just stealing my life. It was stealing his childhood, too. I sat there holding back tears and whispered to myself, if I can control my mind, truly control it, then my weight loss is only a matter of time. My name is Emily Carter. I was 35 when all this began, and I've lived my whole life in Columbus, Ohio. I grew up in a hardworking, middle-class family. My parents both worked 2 jobs, and food was our comfort. We celebrated with food, we mourned with food, and we filled our boredom with food. By the time I hit my 20s, I was already wearing size 18 jeans. By 35, I was up to a size 22. My daily routine was predictable. I'd grab a large caramel latte and a breakfast sandwich from the drive-thru, work my office job, snack on chips between emails, and then pick up fast food for dinner because I was too tired to cook. My health was spiraling. I had high blood pressure, cholesterol that made my doctor frown every visit, and joints that screamed every time I climbed stairs. But the worst part wasn't even the health scares. It was the shame. I avoided mirrors. I avoided cameras. When friends invited me to weddings, I prayed no one would post pictures of me on Facebook. I told myself I was too busy to date, but deep down, I knew it was because I hated the thought of anyone seeing me this way. And then there was Daniel, my little boy. I loved him more than life itself, but I couldn't give him what he needed most, a mom who could run, play, and laugh beside him. That Sunday conversation haunted me. That night, after I tucked Daniel into bed, I sat on the edge of my mattress, holding my phone, staring at myself in the black screen before it lit up. My face looked rounder than I remembered. My arms, heavy and soft, didn't look like they belonged to the same person I was inside. I remembered my last doctor's appointment. Dr. Patel had looked at me with concern and said, "Emily, your A1C levels are dangerously high. You're on the verge of type 2 diabetes. If you don't change now, we'll be talking about insulin, heart disease, maybe worse." At the time, I nodded politely, but I didn't change. I told myself I was too busy. But that night, with Daniel's question echoing in my mind, it wasn't just about me anymore. I thought about his soccer games, the ones I sat through on folding chairs, clapping weakly, while the other parents ran drills with their kids during halftime. I thought about the birthdays, when I stayed behind holding jackets while the other moms helped their kids climb the inflatable slides. I didn't want to be the tired mom anymore. I didn't want to be the absent mom, sitting on the sidelines of his life. That night, I made a promise. I whispered it out loud, even though no one could hear me. This time I'm changing, not just for me, for Daniel, for us. I didn't know where to begin, but I knew I had to start. The next morning, I did something I hadn't done in years. I stood on the bathroom scale. 265 pounds. My chest tightened, but instead of running from it, I wrote it down in a notebook, my day 1 log. I downloaded a free calorie tracking app and started logging everything. Every sip of soda, every handful of chips, every bite that used to not count. Seeing those numbers add up was shocking. No wonder I was gaining weight. I was eating nearly 3,000 calories a day without realizing it. The first week, I swapped soda for water. Just that one change. I was surprised how hard it was. I craved the sweetness, the fizz, the caffeine. My head ached for 3 days. But by day 4, something shifted. I woke up feeling a little less bloated, a little lighter. I started walking, just 15 minutes around the block after dinner. At first, I was out of breath, my thighs chafing, sweat pouring down my back. Neighbors probably thought I looked ridiculous, but I told myself, keep moving. I wrote down my weight every Sunday. After the first 2 weeks, the scale read 258, 7 pounds gone. I cried in the bathroom that day, not because of the number, but because I finally felt like I was doing something real. Of course, there were setbacks. I caved one night and ordered pizza after a long, stressful day. I ate 4 slices and felt sick afterward, physically and emotionally. The old me would have quit right there, convinced I had ruined everything. But this time, I picked up my journal, wrote down what I ate, and promised myself I'd do better the next day. And slowly, the days added up. By the 3rd month, I was down 23 pounds. My clothes felt looser. I started meal prepping on Sundays. Chicken, brown rice, roasted vegetables, all packed into containers. I kept healthy snacks in my purse so I wouldn't be tempted by vending machines. Something else changed, too. My mindset. One morning, I walked Daniel to school, and instead of driving, we went on foot. It was a mile each way. I expected to be gasping for breath, but halfway there, I realized I wasn't winded. I wasn't struggling. I was actually enjoying the crisp air on my face. "Mom, you're walking fast," Daniel laughed, trying to keep up. I smiled for the first time in a long time. That same week, I jogged for the first time in years, just 30 seconds. But it felt like climbing a mountain. And when I stopped, hands on my knees, gasping, I whispered to myself, I can do hard things. Compliments started trickling in. My sister, who had doubted I'd stick with it, hugged me and said, "You look amazing, Emily. I can see it in your face." It wasn't just the weight. It was the confidence. I carried myself differently. And every morning, before breakfast, I took a small capsule supplement I had started using, something to boost my metabolism and give me steady energy. I didn't talk about it much, but I noticed I wasn't crashing like before. It felt like I had a little secret weapon on my side. By the 1-year mark, I was down 82 pounds, 265 to 183. I bought new jeans for the first time in years, a size 12. I stood in the dressing room of Kohl's, staring at myself in the mirror, turning side to side, tears streaming down my face. For once, I recognized the woman looking back. My doctor nearly jumped out of his chair when he saw my lab results. My blood pressure was normal. My cholesterol was healthy. My A1C levels had dropped back into the safe range. "You've added years to your life, Emily," Dr. Patel said. Years. But the greatest victory came on a warm summer evening when Daniel and I went to the park. He wanted to race me to the swings. Without thinking, I sprinted after him. For the first time in his life, I outran my son. We both collapsed on the grass, laughing breathlessly. "Mom, you're fast," he said, grinning. That night, I lay in bed smiling at the ceiling. That was what I'd been fighting for. That moment. Looking back now, I don't hate the woman I used to be. I understand her. She was tired, lonely, and overwhelmed. Food was her comfort. But she also had strength she didn't know yet. She got up after every setback. She tried again when no one believed in her. I learned that weight loss isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about choosing consistency over excuses. And most importantly, I learned to love myself at every stage, not just at the finish line. I wrote down my entire routine, my meals, my workouts, my supplements, so I'd never forget what saved me. Today, I weigh 162 pounds. I maintain it with daily walks, strength training 3 times a week, and balanced meals. I still enjoy pizza sometimes, but I don't let it control me. Daniel is 11 now. We hike together. We play basketball in the driveway. We chase each other around the yard until the sun goes down. He doesn't remember the tired mom on the couch anymore. He remembers the mom who runs, who laughs, who lives fully. To anyone listening, I want you to hear me clearly. Change is possible. I don't care how old you are, how much weight you think you need to lose, or how many times you failed before. If I can do it, so can you. The secret isn't in being perfect. The secret is in never giving up. It's in mastering your mind, fueling your body with smart choices, moving every day, and yes, finding the right support and supplements to keep your energy steady. Your future self is waiting. Your kids, your spouse, your family, your friends. They're waiting for the version of you that's alive, vibrant, and free. So take the first step. Write down your weight. Drink more water. Walk for 10 minutes. Then do it again tomorrow. Because one day you'll look back and realize that first step was the moment your whole life began to change. And maybe, just maybe, your child will look at you with shining eyes and say, "Mom, you're fast." Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more true transformation stories. And for those serious about transforming their health, remember this. Lasting change starts with mastering your mind, eating smart, moving daily, and using the right proven supplements. Our website, weightlossspeech.com, is packed with science-backed diet plans, powerful workouts, and proven supplement tips to help you reach your goals faster.